Long ago, in a distant corner of the universe, a small planet orbited a dim star. This planet had no name among the stars, but its inhabitants called it Earth. They thrived and built civilizations that reached the sky and burrowed deep into the earth. They were curious and bold, but they were also arrogant. One day among the stars, a spacecraft stumbled upon an artifact. It floated in the void, ancient and weathered. It was covered in symbols and etchings that seemed to pulse with an unknown energy. The crew who found it hailed from a federation of explorers and scholars. They were eager to study it. But as they brought it aboard their vessel, their scanners picked up an ominous message etched deep within its core. It was a warning, and it said, "Never wake them." The message was cryptic and vague. The crew debated its meaning. Some thought it was a relic of an extinct civilization. Others believed it was a riddle to be solved. None of them could have imagined the truth. For the artifact was more than a warning. It was a seal. The explorers carried it to their home world. They presented it to the Council of Scholars, a vast assembly of the brightest minds in their galaxy. The artifact was placed in a great hall under constant observation. The symbols were analyzed, the materials studied. The warning was heeded, but curiosity pushed the boundaries. On Earth, centuries passed. The world had grown quiet. The great cities crumbled and forests reclaimed the land. The oceans swelled and creatures of the deep swam freely. Few remembered the civilizations that once stood, and fewer still remembered the warnings. Beneath the surface of the planet, ancient chambers lay hidden. Sealed and forgotten, they hummed, with an energy that was older than the stars. These chambers were vast and labyrinthine. Inside slumbered beings of immense power. Their forms were unlike anything known. They were neither fully organic nor fully mechanical. They were remnants of an age that predated humanity. The beings were the architects of a bygone empire. They wielded powers that could bend the fabric of reality. They were worshipped and feared, but their ambition led to ruin. Their experiments shattered worlds. In their final act of desperation, they sealed themselves away. A message was left behind. It echoed through the cosmos. It said, "Never wake them." The Council of Scholars on the distant world made progress with the artifact. They decoded fragments of its message. They learned of Earth, its coordinates, and its history. They learned of the slumbering beings. And they learned of the cataclysm that would follow if they awoke. But knowledge can be a double-edged sword. The council grew divided. Some argued the beings were a threat that needed to be destroyed. Others believed they could be studied, harnessed, and perhaps controlled. The debate raged on. In the end, a decision was made. A team would be sent to Earth to investigate, to learn the truth. The team arrived on Earth. They were cautious and well prepared. They carried advanced technology and weapons capable of devastating power. They descended into the ancient chambers guided by the coordinates provided by the artifact. The air was thick and heavy. The walls glowed faintly with an otherworldly light. As they delved deeper, they found the beings. They were vast and dormant, their forms coiled and still. The team felt an overwhelming presence, a sense of being watched. They set up their equipment and began their analysis. They discovered the seals were weakening. The energy that kept the beings asleep was fading. Panic set in. The team debated their next move. Some argued for retreat. Others believed they could reinforce the seals. A few suggested destroying the beings while they slept, but as they argued, the chambers began to quake. The seals cracked. The air grew colder. The beings stirred. Their eyes opened. Their voices filled the chambers. The team was paralyzed with fear. The beings spoke in a language that resonated in their minds. They spoke of cycles of creation and destruction, of empires rising and falling. They spoke of the arrogance of those who thought they could control what they did not understand. The team tried to flee, but it was too late. The beings rose from their slumber, their forms shifting and expanding. They unleashed a power that consumed the chambers and surged to the surface. The team was lost. The world trembled. The beings looked upon the surface of Earth. They saw the remnants of humanity, the ruins of cities, the life that had evolved in their absence. They spoke among themselves. They decided the fate of the planet. And they acted. Across the galaxy, the Council of Scholars received a transmission. It was brief and filled with static. A voice echoed through it. It said, "You were warned." Then there was silence. Earth became a void. The beings moved on. Their presence erased the planet from existence. The artifact that had started it all crumbled to dust. The warning it carried faded from memory. Among the stars, stories were told of a planet that no longer existed, of beings that could not be controlled, of a warning that was ignored. And the message echoed through time. Never wake them. But the story did not end there. Fragments of the being's power drifted through the cosmos. Shards of their essence collided with other worlds, seeding them with traces of their energy. On a distant planet, an explorer stumbled upon a fragment. It glimmered faintly and hummed with a faint resonance. The explorer took it back to their ship, unaware of the legacy it carried. The fragment carried echoes of the beings. It whispered of power and knowledge. It promised untold advancements and the secrets of the universe. It promised to make them gods. The explorer presented the fragment to their council. The cycle began anew. Far from the reaches of any civilization, the beings continued their journey. They left destruction in their wake. They moved from star to star, testing the limits of creation. They searched for something that had been lost. They searched for their purpose. They whispered among themselves. They remembered the warnings they had left behind. But they were bound by their nature. They could not stop. They could not rest in the end. The universe remembered them not as creators or destroyers, but as a force of nature. They were a storm that could not be tamed, a reminder of the dangers of hubris. And as their whispers faded into the void, the warning remained. It echoed in the hearts of those who dared to listen. Never wake them.